Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Brown, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Now, if you're a business owner or you're looking to make more sales, this is the channel for you. And in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about what is better, Facebook or LinkedIn for lead generation and ultimately marketing your business. Now, we all know that lead generation and marketing are two very different things, but ultimately, you want more leads in your business. So there's a couple questions you need to ask yourself before you can figure out, is Facebook or LinkedIn better for you, right? They are both incredible platforms, and honestly, I use them both on a regular basis, and some have tremendous impacts in one area versus the other. So in today's video, I want to demystify everything from ads to groups to ultimately where your buyers are going to be hanging out. So question number one right off the bat is, could you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button down below? I'm just kidding. I mean, I hope you do. But where does your customer live? So you have to ask yourself, are you a B2B business? Are you a business to business, meaning you're selling your services to another business? You're not actually selling them to a person. I mean, somebody's signing it, but for the most part, another business is purchasing your services. Whereas, are you a B2C person or company or business where you're selling business to consumer? Now, they are very different in the way that you're going to sell, where your user is hanging out or a potential buyer is hanging out, and ultimately, how you get a hold of them is very different because those people are hanging out in different areas when they're looking to buy. So right off the bat, who has the better groups? Now, if you guys have watched a lot of my videos, I have some serious gripes with LinkedIn groups. They just don't work that well. And I'm not saying that they're bad, but they just don't give notifications when people are commenting in them. People can come and go pretty freely. There's just not enough regulation and restrictions on groups. Whereas Facebook groups, you can get somebody's contact information, you can say that they've seen the rules and regulations in the group, all of these different things, and you could build private communities. Now, I do believe that at some point down the road, hopefully in the next 3, 6, 9 months down the road, LinkedIn is going to make some major changes and overhaul their groups because quite honestly, they just don't work that well. However, if you're in the B2B space, a LinkedIn group is a great place. Not because you posting content in there is going to go far, but a lot of business owners seem to hang out in these groups and be a part of these groups. So if you're prospecting and looking to connect with these people, visiting one of these groups, and I have a ton of videos on how to do this, is a great way to find all of your ideal prospects. Now, obviously, they're not all going to buy and you have to close them, but they congregate in this one place where you could go in, message, contact, and all that kind of stuff, and it makes your life a million times easier. Whereas in Facebook, if you're in the business to consumer group, Facebook is a phenomenal platform as far as groups go. I have a customer who sells they're called yard card toppers or yard cards, where you go out and you set up, if you ever go to a birthday party and they have those little happy birthday things on top, they basically do it for your yard in these gigantic letters and all these cool images and stuff like that. If you want to go check them out, yardcardtoppers.com. I think it's pretty interesting. And she was telling me all about how she leverages Facebook groups, and she's just one of the many that leverage Facebook groups to either one, get to people that are interested in doing what she does, or two, find sales online. There is a tremendous amount of people looking to buy either her services or that product and resell it on Facebook, whereas you don't necessarily have that on LinkedIn. This is more of a business to consumer. You're selling to a family, you're selling to a single person, whereas a business to business, you're selling directly to a company, right? If I built a software and I wanted to go sell it to Amazon, that's a business to business. Or if I built a company where I help businesses make more money, right? That's a business to business, not a business to consumer. So groups, if you're in the business to consumer space, Facebook is undoubtedly 100% the way to go. I have not found too many people having success in the business to consumer space on LinkedIn. However, if your company is a business to business kind of company, LinkedIn is undoubtedly the way to go, and you should spend all of your time on LinkedIn because that's where you're going to put the money in your pockets. Now, the next thing I want to cover is ads. Facebook and LinkedIn both have ads, and quite honestly, there are some major pros and cons to both. Now, back in the day, Facebook ads used to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. If you asked any marketer just a handful of years ago if they liked using Facebook ads, they would all say the same thing. They are phenomenal. Your ROIs are tremendously large, especially in the business to consumer space. However, LinkedIn is a much more business-to-business platform, and Facebook is a much larger business-to-consumer platform. Facebook has recently gotten a major tune-up. So if you're a business-to-business platform, you can target on Facebook those key decision makers, especially if you have an email list of those people. It makes life a million times easier. So Facebook, as far as ads, has to take the W in that case. However, on LinkedIn, you can target only business professionals. So if you're looking to get your software, your hardware, whatever it may be that you're looking to sell in front of the business community, regardless of who it is, you cannot go wrong on LinkedIn, because all of those people there are for business or in business or looking to grow their business, grow their network, whomever it may be. That is a great place to have a ton of traction and a ton of visits. Now, LinkedIn does charge, from what I've seen in my experimenting, a bit more for that kind of access, but typically those are higher ticket items, whereas Facebook, it's a much lower kind of cost. So I highly recommend you checking out both, because one may be better than the other. Personally, for me, I like Facebook ads for the most part if you know how to use them correctly. LinkedIn is making a tremendous stride in getting their ads better to be more targeted and help you have a better ROI. So ultimately, which one works best? Now, I cannot tell you which one works best, because honestly, every company is so different. If you're in the business to consumer space, honestly, you should be spending more time on Facebook. And if you're in the business to business space, spend more time on LinkedIn. Ultimately, that's the way it goes. Now, you could find business people on Facebook. It's common. I do it all the time. There's a ton of people on Facebook. There's way more people as far as personnel goes on Facebook than on LinkedIn. The nice pool about LinkedIn is it's a much smaller pool. It's typically going to be geared towards business people, professionals, things like that. Whereas Facebook, you could literally target anybody. Mostly everybody has a Facebook at this point. Not everybody has a LinkedIn at this point. So just think about who you're targeting, right? There's a huge user base on Facebook, a much smaller, more professional, more business-like users on LinkedIn. So you have to weigh the pros and cons. And honestly, if you're like, hey, at the end of this video, this really kind of didn't settle me, then go test it yourself. There's nothing that I could tell you to do that's gonna be the magic bullet. You have to go test these things yourself. Go spend $150, $200 on Facebook, go spend $200 on LinkedIn, and ultimately put them side by side and check who got the best results. Why did they get the best results? Make sure it's the same ad in both areas, the same images landing on the same landing page, and see where you guys get the best bang for your buck. That is going to be the ultimate decider on where you should go spend your money and how to get the best ROI. Now, I want you to succeed, and if any of this data helps or any of this information helps, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below, and always hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity for your company to make more money. Let me know if you guys are going to try any of these things. Always leave a comment down below, and always check out the description. I always usually give a little bit more information down there. I'll see you guys on the next video. Till then, bye.